Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be doing something a little weird. A while ago I got sent this product right here. It's a guitar chord trainer. I got sent it just to demonstrate it and show its functions, its usefulness. This is made by Ueteto, I believe is how you would pronounce the brand. One of those Amazon brands. This was the last thing they were able to send me before the tariffs really just shut that down. Because I worked with this company and their sister companies for a little while. So that was nice until Trump ruined it for me. Not to be political, but that's just the fact of how that happened. So yeah, this thing is decently cool. It might be a little expensive for what it is and how it functions, and its available functions, but it is cool, and it might be useful for even me at a later date, just to remind myself of some of these chords. Though I could look up a chord chart, which it also comes with a chord chart and a bag and a rechargeable cable, though not the charger block, and the charging cable is very short. So yeah, this does a battery. This also is battery operated, so you can take it anywhere you want. You don't have to plug it in while using it, which would be a little annoying, but the charging cable also is in a, the charging port is in a nice slot right here, so that while using it, it could be feasibly usable while charging if you really needed it. This has 3 modes. So the first thing is just a basic chromatic exercise. Another feature I forgot is that this has a swiveling head, but it only can swivel in this one direction and does lock in places. It doesn't have, complete 90-degree turning. It snaps into 4 different positions. So you can have it directly facing you, but I have to have it facing towards the camera, but also so I can kind of see it, hopefully. So the first thing is, it's hard to get the lighting right on this other camera, but it says EXE on this, which stands for exercise. And basically you're just doing a chromatic, basic 4-finger chromatic exercise. And you're just working your way up the first 4 positions of the guitar neck. Now, this simulated fretboard seems a little wider than most average fretboards, which is a little unfortunate for most people, because a little unfortunate for most people who would need this, I think. Especially that would be a real advantage to be able to do it in a smaller area, or, at least the right sizing of frets, but it also helps you work on and exercise your finger spacing. So, helps you, I don't know. When you use this, it's definitely going to stretch out your fingers more than when you play it on guitar, which should make it a little bit easier logically when you actually go to play the chord on guitar. So yeah, this has the basic chromatic, I think chromatic is the right word, scale, just moving your fingers up and down. You have to keep each finger on the pads as you move up, except for when it's time to change to the next string, because then it needs you to release to be able to sense that you've completed it and that you're not going to be falsely tapping on another string, which is a little unfortunate. So you can't do a true spider scale on this to get that muscle memory. Additionally, sometimes there are some false negatives on here where the sensor will say that you have failed on like your last one, because the spacers are so wide, so the frets are so wide on this that even my pinky, I can only, well, if I really try, if I get my pinky all the way to the end, my pointer is at the front of this fret. You can't be in the middle of it, even though technically you're supposed to be playing at the front of the frets anyway, but that's besides the point. Either way, sometimes it gives false negatives, which is a little annoying, but it's also manageable. So let's move on to the next mode. If we press the power button, it will switch. No, come on, there we go. I think it reset it at first. So I pressed it again, and now it is on the CHO mode, which is just chord. So this allows you to select what chord you want to practice, and then you just repeatedly practice it. Like so. So as you can see, it also takes you through, you have to do it 1 finger at a time, and then it has you do them all at once. It doesn't have to be all at once, I don't think. I think you can do it 1 at a time as well, though you do logically want to try and do them all at once to try and, get that pressing motion properly, so that when you're doing a chord transition, it works a little better. And so there's also many different chord options available here. It goes through a bunch of the variations of the note. So it goes through their minors, and then even some adds and minor. I don't know what the term is for when they have add 7 or something like that. I don't know if that's just what it's called. This one, for instance, is called D sus4. It's a whole, yeah. There's a lot here. So you have that mode, and then you have the auto mode, which this will just progressively go through all of the chords in its bank as you complete them. So see it now, it went from a C to a C7. So, I don't know. I think this thing's pretty cool, and now I kind of wanted to show some of the strange chords that this does have in here. Oh, I don't have this fingered right. And that's one disadvantage of a system like this. There are many systems like it, I believe, but bend this towards you so you can see it a little better. A system like this doesn't tell you which finger should go where, and I tested it where I tested if the way that the lights light up in order, if that was meant to be like your first finger, which is your pointer, and then second lighting up is your middle finger, and then so on and so forth. But as you can see, even here, that already doesn't work. If I did my pointer finger here, then we go here, I can't make it back here, I can't make it to this first string. So I would have to use my middle finger, then ring finger, and pointer to do that, which just completely throws off the, I accidentally pressed a other button, so that failed me. So that completely throws off that theory. So you kind of have to figure out the fingering yourself, and whatever works just works, I guess, in their mind. A lot of guitar teachers would disagree with that, but also sometimes, in my opinion, you have to play a chord differently depending on the song to try and transition better into, it can be for transitioning easier into another chord or position. So this is D minor 7. It's all pretty normal. D sus4, never seen that before. Or I've never used it before. This is a simple E chord. Okay, E7, I've never played this. Now this is an E minor. Now, another thing that we will see later is that sometimes, I don't know if this is just because a slight lemon of my unit. I said that weird. Just that my unit is a slight lemon, but sometimes I get false positives when it wants 2 chords. I wonder if this will do it. Okay, no it didn't. So when I get to this area, sometimes it lights up things that I'm not actually pressing, which is just cheating myself at that point, you know? So I don't know if that's going to be in all of these units or if it's just mine, but it is an unfortunate thing that I would have to mention. So now we're on to an F chord, which is our first bar chord. So this would be really particularly confusing. So this would be particularly confusing to a beginner who's not, they just don't understand that this is a bar chord or what a bar chord even is. There is the manual, which has the chord charts, which I believe has the actual line over it, which will be helpful. But it would be probably helpful if, I don't know how they would do it, if they would just leave these white, but they probably should have lit these up to indicate that it's meant to be barred. I don't know, that's a tough one. It's how to logically display that without making it even more confusing. But yeah, that's a bar chord, and you won't be failed for pressing these 3 buttons, obviously. Oh god. See, there was a false positive. I only pressed this top button, and the bottom button below it lit up. So I'm going to press it anyway, but see, look at, oh, it didn't do it. That's weird. Oh, bar chords are hard. I still am not good at bar chords, even with the experience that I do have. Oh, that's a tough one too. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, I think my pointer was still touching this bottom one. Let's see if this one will false. Yeah, see it. That one easily false positived. But on here it doesn't. That's weird. Oh, well that's really strange. Okay, so there's like a shock that goes through and connects to there. So when you're pressing one of these ones, then it false positives over here. So let's try it. See, look at that, it's still doing that. That's a bit weird. So if I do this, it doesn't work, but if I do this, that doesn't work. Oh, okay. Did you see that? So when I press down on these ones, when I press down on these, okay, it just moved on. When I press down on the bars, it actually lights that one up. That might be a programming error. Oof. I'll have to let the company know about that. But let's continue moving on. I wanted to show off some of the. There's not very many weird real chords that are like super difficult other than bar chords. This is a G chord, which normally I'm used to playing what I call a Green Day G, because then you just add this button on top of the bottom one. Gives it a little bit more, I don't know, fuller of a sound is the right word or right phrase, but this is a G7, which is a bit strange. It's like a C chord, but just raised a little more spread out. Now G4, look at that. Okay, what the frick, dude? I don't even know what. Look. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, that's a spider chord right there. Oh, yeah, that was a toughie. This one's easier. And then this is a simple A chord. Then I assume it'd be an A minor after this. Oh, nope, it's A major 7, which is a D chord but moved up. I believe this is a D chord. It was the D chord the other way around. I can't, now that I'm not actually playing the guitar, it's hard for me to know. Because that's the other downside of a system like this, is that you are not hearing the chords. Let me try and... Okay, so another theoretical issue is that the pressure on this does not need to be very much. They probably should have actually upped the pressure, because if you're playing on an electric guitar, or even if you're playing on an acoustic guitar, you really need to put the pressure down, but if you're playing on an electric, you still need some decent pressure. It can be a little lighter. It's a bit iffy, but you're also... don't even think I finished my other thought, which is that you're not hearing these chords when you're actually playing, because you're not actually playing. Oh, so this is a bar chord as well, a B chord. And I got another false positive there. But yeah, that's a partial downside as well, is that you don't actually hear these chords, so you can't even know when you want to use them, or if you're trying to write a song, you don't know what they sound like until you start transferring your knowledge from this thing over to the real guitar. So maybe you should use this thing in conjunction while practicing the actual guitar, but I don't know. It's just a thought. So here's another B minor chord. And that was a false positive on that because I didn't press that middle button. And we're back to C. So, yeah, and then to turn it off, you just hold down the power button, and, oh, it did not shut down. So, hold the power button, and it'll just turn off. So, I hope that was interesting for someone. I wanted to, I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish in this video. I just thought this was a neat little thing that I actually wanted to make a video about and show off, especially that really wacky G chord or whatever it was. I think it was G. Did I accomplish anything in this video? I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it either way. If you want to see more content, of course the vent starts going. Oh my god. Now I'm going to be sitting there fiddling my hair because the vent is blowing. Sorry to all you people that sit there and complain about it. If you want to see more content like this, there probably won't be anything exactly like this, but I do talk about guitar, drums, and 3D printing the majority of the time on this channel, but also I talk about just generally whatever I want sometimes. I did a board game review once. So, if any of that sounds good, please consider subscribing. I will have an affiliate link to this thing in the description below if you wish to buy it. I think it comes in a few different colors. I might be wrong. But yeah, I think this is a neat little thing to have around just for fun, even if you just take it like on a plane or something. Sit there and just fiddle with this little ADHD toy or something, I don't know. I don't think it's bright enough that it'll disturb your plane mate, but also you have to sit there and you have to be like this when you're in the plane because, you know, there's no, at least if you're sitting in economy, maybe when you're when you're sitting in the first class, you can sit there and spread out and do this sort of thing. But, you know what I mean. I don't know. There's lots of different little things you can do, little places you can do with this. Just try and like memorize it eventually. Obviously, this isn't for majority of people, but for a kid, this might be also difficult, which is the real target audience. But I don't know. That's if you think this is for you and you want to try it out, please consider using the link in the description, and don't forget to uninstall the Honey extension, because that makes its money by stealing those commissions from people like me. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and that's all I have to say for now, so I'm going to say bye-bye.